guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm actually here in Austin, Texas, in the middle of somewhere, and guess what? I'm here for a very good reason. We have the all-new 2021 Nissan Rogue. This particular one is the top dog trim. This is the platinum trim. But before we dive into this all-new redesigned SUV from Nissan, let's talk about what's going on here. So Nissan is going through a little bit of a renaissance, a rebirth. They have promised that over the next 20 months, they're going to take 10 models and either create something totally new or go for a total redesign like on this Rogue. So you're going to see some excitement, not only from SUVs, but also, I know you're waiting, I'm definitely waiting, Lori's waiting, the whole world is waiting for this 400Z. Now, one thing that I didn't really actually realize is that the Rogue is Nissan's top selling vehicle here in the United States. So important for them to redesign it and really do something big to keep that excitement going. And I think that with having the Rogue set up the way that it is, I think a lot of people are gonna be excited and also maybe change their mind about the Nissan brand. Now, it's sitting on an all new chassis. It's actually a little bit shorter, a little bit wider, and a little bit lower to really increase that aerodynamic efficiency. But what I wanna find out is this new Nissan Rogue, is it the best SUV that you need to be parking in your driveway going up against the other big names? So let's go ahead and find out, is the redesigned Nissan Rogue really standing up to that top standard? Right off the bat, all new styling. Now, some people are saying, hey, didn't they take this from that brand? Didn't they take that from this brand? Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. And you know what? Nissan is trying to take elements of design that are exciting here right now. So when you look at the front fascia, you're going to notice that they went with the split headlight design. So up top, you got your LED daytime running lamp. Everything is all black down on the interior. I do like the way they bring the black across the top as well. And then as we drop down a little bit, this is actually going to be your headlights. Now, the great news is no matter what trim you go with your Nissan Rogue, you're going to get standard LED headlights. So you're going to get a nice bright white light as you're driving down the road. And you know what? At first, I'll be honest, many moons ago when they started doing this split headlight design, different manufacturers, I really wasn't digging it. But the way that Nissan integrated it into their V-Motion grille, which I'm going to show you in a few seconds, I think it really works. Now, as you continue to work your way down, you are going to have a fully functional side air curtain. So I'm glad that they kept everything painted. Air is going to flow down the side. We drop down a little bit more. You have a mixture of some flat black and then also this flat silver, metallic silver, looking really good. We have the LED fog lamps lit up. That's going to give us even more lighting. So from, I think, an identity perspective, based off the headlights and everything, really going to stand out. Now, as we come across the center portion of the grille, there's that V-Motion grille. So they're sticking with that philosophy, and they're taking design elements from the Nissan Sentra, from the Nissan Altima, from the Nissan Maxima, and they're bringing it into this 2021 Nissan Rogue. Now, I like the way they did the grille. They have some flat black elements, but they also have some gloss black elements, and of course, that massive chrome trim piece that's going to be that V shape for the V-Motion grille. We work our way down. We have a little bit of flat black. Everything is open and functional. And I'm even digging the way they took the chrome bit here and run it along the lower lip of the front fascia. And it's got that SUV, rugged look to it. Now, when we get up onto the hood, really clean. Look at how the hood just meshes very well with the top of the grille. Super clean on the bylines. You're just going to have one raise on the driver's side, one raise on the passenger side, and they drift right towards that A-pillar. And that really just cleans up the whole front end of the new Rogue. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. Now, on this 2021, this is a platinum trim. So when you go platinum, this is the wheel setup you're getting. It's a 19-inch wheel, machined aluminum. You got this metallic, almost a black, but it's a dark gray metallic, 235 on the width, and you have a meaty 55 series sidewall. Here's the good news, guys. Yes, they changed the way the wheel looks, and you know what? It's actually a really good looking wheel. It's what's behind the sheet metal. They went and reworked the whole suspension, including the steering rack. So you're gonna get a totally different steering sensation and feel from this particular new redesigned Rogue. Plus you're gonna get this great look. Now, the way they took the flat black, normally they keep, you see on so many SUVs, they kind of just keep it flush with the rest of the bodywork. Look how they flared it out. Flared it out nicely. all the way around, and then it gets a little slim and trim as it runs into that lower sill. Very, very clean. Going down the fender, clean line, coming everything off that rise. Look how it goes right into that A-pillar. I think it was so smart to black this out. Just gloss black it out. Almost gives it that nice floating roof design, which is becoming more and more popular. And Nissan really was the one to bring that to fruition with design. You're gonna have your slim and trim LED headlights. Our Platinum has 360-degree cameras all the way around. I like the way they went with the flat silver, just like they took up front. Nice, flush, low roof rails. Of course, you could get those crossbars. You could put your cargo basket up there. You could put your kayak, your bicycle, whatever you got, maybe a bed mattress. Just throw it on up there. Gloss black, flat black along the bottom. And look at the design element. I like this. I like the way they did the design element with the chrome trim just across the top and kept it flat black along the bottom. And even that chrome piece on the sill gives it that accentuated design, which I'm really digging. It really shows that they didn't just slap this together trying to get it to market. They really put some nice thought and design element. You have a rounded belt line, and then you see another line picks up, and it almost flares out. I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around this way and really showcase how that line flares out as it comes towards the rear of the vehicle. And then once we get to the back, very, very tasteful. You have a nice low roof spoiler, and I like the way it's got a nice dip. You got a shark fin antenna, so you don't have any of that stupid remote control antenna look to it. The windshield wiper, it would have been nice to kind of just tuck it in there, but I'm gonna let it go because everything else is looking great. Taillight design is really clean, simple on the badging. I even like the way they put the Rogue badge on there. Looks really great from the back, especially the way that the taillights angle in and everything blends in so nicely. And as we kind of drop down, you're gonna get this chrome trim and then a little bit of that flat silver along the bottom with the rest of it being silver. And I think the best part is no fake exhaust, no exhaust really whatsoever. Everything is hidden, and I think that helps add that clean look. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this new 2021 Rogue. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. Now, I am gonna zonk this, especially being a 2021. Would have been nice to have the hydraulic hood struts. Underneath the hood, Nissan kept it simple, and I think that is really their best remedy to get this Renaissance kick-started and really, really kicking into high gear. So what you're looking at is the one engine option. It's a 2.5 liter inline four, so it's 181 horsepower, slight bump in horsepower compared to the power of last year's, because last year's was 170 horsepower, so you're getting an extra 11 horsepower, which is nice. 181 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to one transmission, and that is a CVT, but the great news is standard front-wheel drive, you can get optional all-wheel drive. I think where you're really gonna be a big winner with the Rogue is MPGs. 25 in the city, 32 on the highway means we have a 28 combined. Like I mentioned earlier, you have those new shocks, you got the steering rack. This Rogue actually weighs 100 pounds less than the previous generation, all through that new chassis work, that new rack and pinion, all the good stuff that really is gonna help increase that driving pleasure. But why don't we go ahead, we talked about the engine, we talked about the exterior, let's get to the interior because that's where the big things are really gonna happen. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Nissan Rogue. It's so crazy because the Rogue has been around since 2008, if you could believe that. And this is where Nissan really knocked it out of the park, and the interior is just at such a crazy high level, especially compared to just last year. Just last year. Now, I know you're at that point where you're like, Joe, I'm looking for a smaller SUV, but nothing too small. I want something that's aesthetically pleasing. And I can't wait to see what the interior looks like because I love interiors on cars and I want a nice interior. How much is this one? Now, you could start with S. That's the gateway into the Rogue family. Or you could go Platinum. Now, if you go S, that starts at $26,000. If you want to throw everything into it, the way that this one is optioned, you're looking at $36,900, fully loaded. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, look at what they're doing with the material. I love the chocolate brown, that dark chocolate brown. We have that wonderful leather with the white contrast stitching, even on the armrest. My only zonk is that the door pocket is very small. Maybe a bottle of soda and maybe one glazed donut from Krispy Kreme, and that's about it. But when you get to the dash, here's where things get sexy. I like the chocolate brown, soft touch material. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. Soft touch, the white contrast stitching, the way they took the silver and this faux wood trim here is looking really clean. Everything flows into an all-new infotainment system. So standard is 8-inch. We have the 9-inch because we have Platinum. Of course, it's a touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. And what's really nice is you got your navigation, super clean. My only zonk is I wish that the screen, why not just make it a 10-inch? Use a little bit more space on each sides, make the volume knob and the tuning knob a little bit smaller, but it's real easy to navigate through. Of course, we're rocking out to 80s on 8, Lori and I having a good time here in Austin. There's the temperature, but real easy to navigate through. You like cameras? We got cameras. So you got your 360 like I promised you. The door's open, so that's why it's a little funky looking. Out back, we got a trajectory, and we got trajectory out front. You hit it again. Look at that. You want to see my new wheels? Bling, bling. There they are. Looking good. Simple. I like that. As you work your way down, look at how the leather comes all the way across. The stitching. A little bit of gloss black, but you're going to have your dual climate controls. You could operate the rear AC as well. Heated seats, but no ventilated seats. That is a huge zonk. They should have ventilated seats, but you do have a heated steering wheel, but I definitely don't want that on right now. The silver trim is nice. There's your start stop button, USB-C, USB, and a 12 volt. I love the wireless charging pad, and I love the way that they designed it to where you don't need a lid. Everything kind of like waterfalls in. The way they did the black plastic, they added some grooves to it, makes it look really classy. And then watch this. See my hand down here? You have this wonderful storage area, so you could put a purse, a bag, a sack, a satchel. Heck, if you're done playing with your softballs and you don't want to hold on to your balls anymore, you can put them down there. They're not going to roll away, which is good. 2 cup holders. Look at the shifter for the CVT transmission. I really am digging this. It's not an actual like lever sticking out. You have just the top portion here, but you could go into your reverse, into park, into neutral. Real simple, and it really cleans this whole area up. Here's your D mode selector. You got your 3 different modes that you could go into. See what I was telling you with the grooves? I like that. It's classy. Even the way they put the faux wood trim in here. Look at this, the leather armrest, semi-soft, but here's the good news. Just like a Mercedes, just like a BMW, bombs away. You got plenty of room in there. You could easily put 14, 15 Twinkies, and they got a little cup for some breath mints. So when you're done, you don't want Twinkie breath when you're gonna kiss a date, kiss whoever you're going out with or whoever you're married to, pop a breath mint. They'll love you a lot more for it. Seats. When you go Platinum, you're getting the real deal leather. I want to thank the cows that sacrificed their lives because this leather's soft. The stitching is great. Look at the diamond pleated design. Of course, you're going to get full power assist for the passenger and the driver. And these are those NASA developed zero gravity seats. So buy yourself some space ice cream, some astronaut ice cream, and sit in these and you're gonna feel just like you work for NASA. And then of course, the cherry on top, we have this beautiful panoramic sunroof. And guess what? It goes all the way back. So not only do you get to enjoy what's happening up in the sky, so do your passengers in the back seat. And then to close it, it's real nice. Just one touch, super simple. Bose sound system, wet 10 speakers, but there's more. I got 12 inches over here. Coming over the business end, I want to show you this beautiful digital dash in our all-new Nissan Rogue. All right, guys, business time in the new Rogue. What's nice is you have these 2 memory seat setting buttons. I like the way they kind of just dropped them right in, nice and flush. I still love what they did with the black trim here. Adding some of that little texture makes it look such higher level than ever before. Now, as you look at the side of the seat, you got your seat controls, easy to get to, lower lumbar, ooh, that feels so good right there. And then Nissan does something so interesting with their steering wheels. They look like they're out of a Nissan race car, all flat bottom. So here's the wheel for the 2021 Rogue. You got a flat bottom steering wheel, a little bit of flat silver. I'm liking the flat black, and I'm so glad that they hollowed out the whole portion there. You do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go through those simulated gears in that CVT transmission. And even the horn button, tasteful horn button, but the big talk of the town, guess what? We got 12 inches. You got 12 6.3 inches of digital display in the center. Look how clear the graphics are. The font is beautiful. You could go into your different modes. You hit that D mode selector button, sport, standard, and then of course you finish up on eco. And I like the way it's just super clear. Very, very straightforward. You have your head-up display. Everything looking really great. And I think that really elevates the overall feel. You have the 10-speaker Bose sound system. I got plenty of headroom in here, even with the panoramic sunroof. The zonk of the day is going to be this mirror. Having such a thick rim mirror kind of takes away from all the other things that they've done in here, but everything is soft touch. Really, really like the overall setup. But why don't we get to the back seat and see how your passengers are going to enjoy this all-new Rogue. All right, guys, back seat time. You can see that we have those nice manually lifted security shades. Keep the peepers and the creepers out of your business. That's in the back seat. And boy, oh boy, they did a great job. The wonderful leather all the way around. Because remember, you go platinum trim, you're going to get full leather. You have good sized pockets. You could put, this could be a banana holder. Put your bananas in here. Just don't squish them, because then you're going to make a big, large banana split back here. Or if you want to showcase, hey, your kids are smart, they got a high IQ, put a couple books in there. Even if they don't even read books and they're just on your phones, when people come into your back seat of your Rogue, they're going to be like, wow, this is impressive. Put 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, one of my favorites. Now, speaking of my favorites, I like the way that they have this little command center back here. So you have your two AC vents, AC controls, easy to get to, easy to operate it, heated seats. It would be nice to have ventilated seats in the back, but you know what? At this price point, I'm zonking more that there's no front ventilated seats, but you have a USB-C and a USB, so they got you covered power-wise. I have my pocket over here, so I could put my Webster's Dictionary. Always nice to learn a few new words every now and then. And then, of course, with the interior, you got a nice soft armrest, soft as a whole package of Charmin that you've been hoarding all springtime. Two cup holders, and look at how they did the diamond pleated design back here. Really, really dig. Look how soft it is. Nice, comfortable, and it looks upscale. This Rogue really has separated itself from the previous generation. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the cargo area and see how much room we have in this all-new Rogue. All right, guys, time to get into the cargo area. Now, before we do, because we have the platinum trim, that's the top dog trim, you do have hands-free operation. Real simple, you just take your foot, you get the little beep beep, you back away because it rises up at a really nice pace. Now, what's wonderful is that you have the total flat floor. You could actually move this floor around. Now, if you keep it in the high position, you could stock this up with tons of candy. Snickers, Three Musketeers, Kit Kats, Butterfingers, whatever you got, you could put it here. Or if you want to lower the floor a little bit, that's doable as well. Now, here is some good news and some bad news. The good news is this Rogue is looking really good, especially from the back end. It is shorter than the outgoing one, so that means with the seats up, you have a little less cargo space than the previous generation. But boy, oh boy, when we fold those seats down, now we're gonna have actually more cargo space than the outgoing one. Let me show you how you do it. Right next to the 12 volt, which we have a nicely placed 12 volts, so if you're gonna go to the beach, camping, tailgating, you do have a power source. Right next to that, you have the handles. Real simple, you pull and they drop down. And I'm gonna swing around Lori, we're gonna do a little do-si-do. Pull, look how nice that is. Now when Lori's showing that off, let me tell you what is the actual numbers. So with the seats up, you're looking at 36.5 cubic feet of space. With the seats down, that's where you're getting more space, 74.1 cubic feet of space. I like the way they have this little area, so when you're going on a family trip, you could put your emergency box of Twinkies. If everybody eats all the candy bars, you got some in reserve for when the kids are getting hangry and they're annoying you. And then on the other side, this is where when you go to the grocery store and you got that gallon of milk, it literally just drops right in there, so it's not sloshing around and then you have a milkshake all over the place and a big, huge mess. But why don't we go ahead? You can see the usable space. If you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Push that button, that's gonna close. Let's take the all-new Rogue for a spin. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Nissan Rogue. Right away, it feels like a totally different SUV, as it should. You have this beautiful head-up display. The digital dash, I'm telling you, is worth every penny. Super clear, no glare, even when the sun is behind you. And I'm really, really digging the philosophy, the design philosophy that Nissan is bringing not only into this Rogue, but also they brought it into the Sentra, into the Ultima. The way they've really elevated the materials, they could have went hard plastic with this chocolate brown on the dash. They did not. And I'm very, very happy that they did not do that, because it just gives you that higher elevated feel of fit and finish. Now, steering is very, very light. For me personally, I would like a little bit more weight, but I think for a majority of people, the lighter steering will actually be a nice welcome addition, especially with the way that they tweaked the whole rack pinion and everything on this car, the steering rack, to really allow you to get a better feel of what's going on at the front end of the business. And that's important when you're driving, of course, to have that feel. But as we're going down this fun little back road here in Austin, it soaks up the bumps well. You have a redesigned multi-link rear suspension. The way that they did some great chassis work on this Rogue, you could feel it throughout the whole journey, whether you're going over potholes, whether you're going over, you know, tabletop smooth roads. You're really feeling great suspension work that's happening with the chassis in unison, and I really am digging that. Now, of course, the CVT, that's a sore spot for many people. I am glad that, you know what, you got a little bit more horsepower, 11 more horsepower. I know it's not tons, but it's still more than what you had previously. And as we're driving here, when it comes to the CVT, it's not, you're not really noticing it. It's when you floor it and you're on throttle, and that's where it's a little lacking. But you do have the simulated gears that are gonna take place so that you're not at a constant RPM. Visibility out the front looks phenomenal. The hood waterfalls down. It's almost totally out of sight, except for those two high peaks that I was telling you about. And you're gonna like those, especially if you have a tight parking spot where you gotta fit this in. But the 10-inch head-up display, it is at a perfect height, really clear. It's telling me my speed, it's telling me the speed limit. Of course, you're getting that 360 shield protection, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, emergency braking. Heck, just like a lot of other new vehicles, it also tells you if you're leaving your kids in the back seat. So that's a nice plus all the way around. But if you notice, I'm gonna be quiet for a second. I know that's a miracle, but I'm gonna be quiet here. It's actually very quiet on the interior. So they did a great job reworking the sound deadening, increasing that thickness of glass a little bit, and it just gives you a nice environment to be in. And these seats, I'm telling you, I'm ready to go to the moon, because these zero gravity seats really feel wonderful on my backside. They're supportive, but they're also comfortable. It really is an interesting combination on how they were able to work that. I have it in sport mode. We're gonna do a little bit of on throttle acceleration. Here we go, on throttle. So you get, like I said, you're getting those simulated shifts, but you know what? Because the engine is naturally aspirated, you're not waiting for any boost, you're not waiting for anything to happen. It's a nice linear power delivery, and you do have the paddles. So if you want to shift with the paddles, you have that ability to do that with this 2021 Rogue, and it allows you to get a little bit more of control of where you are at in that power band. So as I downshift from fourth to third here, you could really feel that rack and pinion doing the job, back on throttle, super smooth. I'm actually liking it a little bit more by using the paddles, to be honest with you. But I feel planted, it feels good. But it's quiet, and I like that. I really, really do. Having the panoramic sunroof, having the lighter headliner really brightens things up in here, makes it nice and airy, so it's not like a dark cave where the hobbits live. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this gave you a wonderful feel of what the new 2021 Rogue is all about. Yes, we're starting at the top, but we will be covering the other trims, S, SV, SL, all here on Rady's Rides. So we're gonna get back to our little surprise location here in Austin, Texas, and we're going to wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, things do happen big here in Texas. I want to first of all thank Steve and the rest of the crew over at Nissan USA getting us. They wrangled us this 2021 Nissan Rogue, so I definitely want to thank them. What can I say? The changes Nissan's making, some of the changes are incremental, some of them are major, especially when it comes to style, but boy, oh boy, did they raise the bar when it comes to the Nissan Rogue. And if you're looking for an SUV, you're definitely going to want to add one of these to your list, because you're going to be amazed how wonderful that driving interior is, and such a wonderful environment to be able to go on those trips or do your daily commute. But if it's SUVs like these, totally redesigned, all new for 2021, you want to keep seeing on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to my wonderful wife, Lori. Show her some love in the comments. She actually helped create the scene where we're filming. We actually did some pruning of the trees, some mowing of the grass, and kind of swept up this asphalt. So thank you, Lori, for busting your butt. Like I said, guys, show her some love in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.